working with the remove duplicates feature to merge student data. In this example, let's just say that this is our list of several thousand students and it has all the data we need. And this is our partial list of students at the bottom here. We could say this is probably about 100 students, but we just made it small so we can see what's going on here. And this doesn't have the data we need, so we need to get the data from here to here. And let's see if remove duplicates could do it. I'm going to select all the students by clicking the A column, and that will select everything in that column. And I'll go to data, remove duplicates, continue with current selection, and we're using name. 15 duplicate values were found and removed. And as you can see, it appears to work because we can see student 1 matches with banner ID, or ID 1, student 2 matches with ID 2. But now we're back to a large list of several thousand, because what we did was we made the partial list just disappear. So we really can't tell which students that we wanted to work with. We're back to the large list. And this is also assuming that everyone has a different first and last name. If somebody has the same first and last name, this might be another issue as well. So let's try this a different way. This time we'll put the partial list on top. We'll pretend this is like 100 students that are missing their information. And we have the full list on the bottom. Once again, we're pretending this is several thousand students. And I'll click the A column again. I'm still in the data tab. Remove duplicates. Continue with current selection. OK. And you can see we got something going on here, but it's totally wrong. We can see student 30 is 800001, student 31, and so that really doesn't match. So we know that doesn't work either. Something that might help a little bit is a pivot table. If we select all the data, I just click this corner here and I go to Insert, Pivot Table. OK. And in my pivot table, in the rows, I want name. And let's say I want student ID. And also want account name. So see what we have here, student 1. And we can see there's 2 instances of student 1. One of them, the banner ID is this 800001. And one of them is blank. Same thing with student 10. One of them is the banner ID here, and one of them is blank, which would match the list that we have here. We'll go back to it, and we can see that we got a student 1 that's blank and a student 1 that's 8, several zeros, and a 1. And as you can see, this pretty much matches all the way down. Let's see if we can also get phone and email in here, see if it works. Phone, I'm just dragging it down to the rows here. And email. So there's student 1, there's a banner ID for that student, there's the phone for that student, and there's the email for that student, and then the other information is blank for student 1. So let's check. The email should look like this. Actually the email should be email 1. The phone is this arbitrary number 032407. Let's take a look. And that matches. So that worked out pretty good as long as all the names were different. But for a test, let's say that we have in our partial list, let's say this might be 100 students or so. Let's say that we have 4 people with the same name, student 1. And in my big list with all the data, let's say I also have some people with the same name. I have several student 4s here. So let's run a pivot table again and see what it looks like. Insert, pivot table. OK. Name. Student ID. I'm just left clicking and dragging. Phone. Email. And name in the values area, I'm going to count name. So it shows us that we have 5 student 1s. One of them has a banner of 8 and several zeros and 1. So that looks about right because there were several student ones in the small group but not in the big group. So that looks right. But let's see what happens with student 4 because there were several of them in the big group. So we'll scroll down and find student 4. So here's student 4. We can see there's 3 of them. One of them has a banner of 8 and several 4s. One of them has a banner of 8 and several 5s. And one of them has a banner of 8 and several 6s. So that actually looks pretty good. The only problem, of course, is the way that the data is listed. Because we only have about 10 or so names here. If we had actually like 100 or so, then this list would be pretty long. But it looks pretty accurate. Now, something else you might want to do before you start putting the data together is to look for duplicate names in either list, which is fine for a smaller list. But if you have like 20,000 names or so, you might want to pull out those names. It might not be too easy to find them, but we can use something to do that. I'm going to select the entire A column again, and under the Home tab in the Styles group, I'm going to go to Conditional Formatting, click the drop down, highlight Cell Rules, Duplicate Values. And now I can highlight the cells how it likes. See, right now it's light red fill with dark red text. And you could change that to any color you like, or fill or text. But let's go ahead and click OK. And everything that's duplicated is highlighted now. So if you wanted to see the duplicates between the two lists, you can do that. Or if you just wanted to pull out the duplicates of your big list before you start putting the data together, it might be useful. So let's go ahead and delete this info here. Let's just say we have just a big list. And let's say that these were scattered all out through your list and you don't want to scroll through like 20,000 records looking for all the duplicates. So what you might want to do is sort so all your duplicates come out on top so you can pull those out and work with them separately. So we can do that by selecting the entire list, go to Data, Sort, Sort by, want to sort on Name, and sort on Cell Color. And the cell color we have is red on top, and OK. So that moves all the red cells to the top. And you can see this might be useful if you use a very large list.